Select your finest t-shirt and shorts. Pro Day at the U means one of the final data points offered by Cam Ward. The Miami product has distanced himself from others in the class since season's end, and with Tennessee on the clock, there's a logical line to draw. Monday, a carefully curated workout with plenty of Titan brass on hand. Former NFL GM and new addition to the With the First Pick podcast, Ran Carthon, goes one-on-one with Ward.
Number one pick in this year's draft here at Miami Pro Day. Cam, first and foremost, appreciate you taking the time. Today was your first and only public throwing session that you're going to have. How did you feel it went today?
It went good, especially with the script we had. It was all game-like things I did with Miami. Not really too much of what the NFL wanted to see, because we did a lot of that in Miami. To me, it's just more of, throwing on rhythm, whether it's gun 3-step, gun 5-step, or under center 3-step and 5-step. Get in depth in the pocket, climbing when I need to. But we just did normal things, practice like things the whole pro day.
Now, you mentioned it about your script. You and your quarterback coach, Daryl Colbert, have been working on the script for some time. Were there any throws in particular that you wanted to, show off your release, show off your arm strength? Were there any throws that you made today that, in particular, that you wanted to show off your arm talent a little bit?
Yeah, going right, throwing back left. It showed it off. It just sailed on me, so I got to get that ball down. But that was a specific throw that I wanted to throw.
So talk to me about this last route that they threw, the flea flicker, whatever y'all call it. I don't know, Cam Ward special. I think I heard that. What did you want to show with you catching the ball?
I got hands. A 1-for-1 with a touchdown. We had to give Restrepo some love because, he didn't get a touchdown, pass touchdown versus Florida. It was dropped. Aurora threw me one in Florida State game, but, I got the quarterback I had the best hands on the team, and I got him.
So is that something you want the NFL teams to know, that not only can you throw it, but you can catch touchdowns as well?
I'm interchangeable.
So, Cam, you're not short on confidence, which is a good thing. It's a natural thing for the quarterback position. But is there anything that's, from your perspective, that is going to make you nervous about making this transition into becoming an NFL player? And that could be on or off the field.
I haven't really thought about it. I probably still have to get into it first, actually being a quarterback. But on film, it's the same as college. Besides the D-line, who's obviously better. Every team playing against the highest paid defensive linemen, so, the game could speed up a little bit. But just from a back-end standpoint, a lot of guys want to put the safety high, 25 yards down the field, and leave the middle field wide open. So some teams who did that to us this year, they paid the price. I think some teams in the NFL did a lot of too high stuff, like Dallas, going a lot of Tampa, a lot of cover two. They leave way too much space on the sideline down the seams. And so I just think, the arm strength and, the confidence that I'm bringing, along with the, me getting my receivers better, I just think I'll be able to put the ball where I want.
Okay, so we talked a little football, got that part out the way, right? So we established we want to have some fun with this interview, or something a little different. So in a part of having fun, you got to come with, some stuff, right, to get to have fun. Don't look, don't peek. So I'm going to show you a picture, and then...
Why y'all playing, bro?
I just want to know, first and foremost, because it's a triple-part question. I want to know
the picture.
I want to know who this is. Is this Cam, C Boogie, or Simi?
Let me see.
Show everybody.
Oh, that's Bug right there. That's Bug.
Okay.
That's Bug.
All right. Let's go to the next picture. This one.
That's Boogie too. That's Bug throwing that baseball.
Okay. And then this handsome fella.
Oh, see, that's Cameron.
That's Cameron?
Yeah.
Okay, so we didn't have...
That's Cameron.
Okay. And then finally, this guy.
There goes that man, Cam. There you go.
This is Cam.
There goes that man.
Okay, so we established those. So all four of the pictures we showed from different points of your life, different ages. If Cam Ward sitting here today could go back and talk to any one of those kids, what would you tell those kids about the journey you've been on?
We almost got everything we wanted. We ain't there yet. But I've been dreaming about this since, I was a kid. Whether it's NFL, MLB, or NBA, I wanted to go pro in something. That's always been my destiny. So I was just telling that we're almost there. Keep working, and then, the long run's going to pay off. So do you think the kids in that picture, if you told them that you were potentially the first overall pick in this upcoming draft, do you think that kid would believe it? I think he would have believed it once he got to, college and high school, not early on. But that kid knew he'll end up being a draft pick at some level someday.
Okay. And then finally, with those same 4 pictures, Tree, what would Tree say about those 4 people coming up to the man that's sitting in front of us today? What would she tell us about that person?
Probably stop all that cussing.
So, you got family members that have played in the league. You know, you got Quentin Jammer, Quandre Diggs, and Q was here today to support you. First and foremost, what does that mean to have his support here today for your pro day?
It means a lot, especially somebody who did it, who I got a chance to watch do it, like actually see them every game, from Texas to Detroit to Seattle to Tennessee when he played a couple times. So, I mean, it was good. I think the game's changing now. The quarterback play is changing. I don't think he's ready for that quarterback play that especially I'm coming in with. If he ends up on the team with me, I will let him hear it every day in practice. There'll be no days I'll give him hell every day in practice. I'll let it be known that West Columbia is way better than Angleton every day in practice. And, you know, even though our house is like 2 blocks away from each other, I'm always big cuz.
So you've mentioned it. Q is off camera. Q, can we get you to come in, please?
I'm on 5'8".
So, Lil Cuz, Big Cuz, I can see why he would call himself Big Cuz and you Lil Cuz. What words of encouragement do you have for him as he's taking this journey to become an NFL player?
I mean, never switch up. You feel me? He's going to be who he is, you know what I mean? And I think that's what's cool. Always confident, always calm, collected. And, you know, my word of advice is just, you know, be consistent every day. Be who you is every day. And that's who he is. So, for me, I'm proud. I mean, everybody know I brag on him every chance I get. And for me, it's like, yeah, little cousin, but we super close, and, you know, our family's super close. So to me, it's almost like seeing a brother, you know what I mean, succeed. And I want everybody to know that that's my family.
Okay, so we were together last year in Tennessee, had an unfortunate injury that put you out for the rest of the season. I know you. I know how you wired. I know you still want to play, so I have to ask, is there a chance that we could see Cousins United? Because he gets drafted, and you're a free agent, free to sign anywhere. What are the chances that we could see Cousins United on the football field?
I mean, for me, that's priority one. Priority one is definitely, I want to be there. I want to be there, you know, day-to-day with him if I can, and just try to help him succeed. And, you know, we're going to talk trash, but I keep him in check, make sure he's doing what he's supposed to do. But it's going to be a lot of trash talk if that is the thing. And you know how I get down, so it'll be great. But I had to keep some of them guys off of him because they'll be ready to whoop him, too.
I got the trench babies for me. I ain't anybody worried about you. It'd be cool to play, you know, with him, I would say. Especially, like, growing up watching him do all he did since high school. But I probably enjoy practice more than the game with him, because he's the first person I'm going to talk to every day, the first person I'm going to let hear it every day. That's like how my safety was with Meach Powell. He's the first person I'm going up to. At the end of the day, the quarterback and the safety, the quarterback of the defense and the offense. So my presence will be known if I get a chance to play with him.
So let me ask one final question, because Q, you said it, y'all families are really close. I believe y'all moms lives a couple doors down from each other. What would that mean, you think, for each of your mothers to have y'all together and on the same team potentially?
I mean, they together every Sunday anyway, so it wouldn't be no different. Every time I call my mom, they all together, Tree, Jamie's, my Aunt Sammy, they all together. So I think if we together, I just think Nashville, wherever it's at, you know, the family will be there, and it'll just be the same as it always been.
A lot more family at the game, I will say that.
Yeah, facts.
So appreciate the time. I know, Q, you're a man of very few words publicly.
Right.
Talk a lot otherwise. But appreciate you jumping on, showing your little cousin some love, Cam. I appreciate the time.
All right, we appreciate that. CBS Sports exclusive. Ran Carthon, a new addition to the With the First Pick podcast alongside our draft expert, Brian Wilson. And there's no better time to get involved than right now. Scan that QR code and enjoy With the First Pick. Coming up, Cam Ward looking to cement his spot atop this year's draft board. The Miami product back in Coral Gables for a Monday Pro Day. Emory Hunt offering his takeaways next. Select your finest t-shirt and shorts. Pro Day at the U means the final data point on Cam Ward. The Miami product has distanced himself from others in the class since season's end, and with Tennessee on the clock at #1 overall, maybe a logical line to draw there. Monday, a carefully curated workout with plenty of Titans brass on hand.
So talk to me about this last route that they threw, the flea flicker, whatever y'all call it. I don't know, Cam Ward special. I think I heard that. What did you want to show with you catching the ball?
I got hands. I'm 1-for-1 with a touchdown. We had to give Restrepo some love because, you know, he didn't get a touchdown, pass touchdown versus Florida. It was dropped. Aurora threw me one in Florida State game, but, you know, I got the quarterback I had the best hands on the team, you know, and I got him.
So is that something you want the NFL teams to know, that not only can you throw it, but you can catch touchdowns as well?
I'm interchangeable.
So, Cam, you're not short on confidence, which is a good thing. It's a natural thing for the quarterback position. But is there anything that's, from your perspective, that is going to make you nervous about making this transition into becoming an NFL player? And that could be on or off the field.
I haven't really thought about it. I probably still have to get into it first, actually being a quarterback. But on film, it's the same as college. Besides the D-line, who's obviously better. Every team playing against the highest paid defensive linemen, so, you know, the game could speed up a little bit. But just from a back-end standpoint, a lot of guys want to put the safety high, 25 yards down the field, and leave the middle field wide open. So some teams who did that to us this year, they paid the price. I think some teams in the NFL did a lot of too high stuff, like Dallas, going a lot of Tampa, a lot of cover two. They leave way too much space on the sideline down the seams. And so I just think, you know, the arm strength and, you know, the confidence that I'm bringing, along with the, you know, me getting my receivers better, I just think I'll be able to put the ball where I want.
It was former Titans GM Ran Carthon interviewing what could be the first overall pick to the Tennessee Titans in Cam Ward. That's the ball knower, Emory Hunt, in with his thoughts on this showcase, and we got to see some of it. Emory, I know you're simpatico with me in this. We're always hesitant to equate these workouts to Sunday success, but was there a moment or two within where you were able to draw a line from one to the other?
Well, I just like to see throwers throw. It's like you want to see shooters shoot. Like, I want to see Glenn Rice always shoot a three. I want to see Ray Allen always pull up in the corner. I want to see Cam Ward throw off platform. That's what makes Cam Ward Cam Ward. We saw that today. When they try to make him do things under center and to showcase, yeah, he can do that. That's in his bag. I don't want to see that. I want to see him get out there and just wing it all over the yard like he did throughout the course of this pro day. And when he was able to move to his left, throw back across the field with accuracy, or move to the left and throw left with accuracy on the sideline, those are the things that let you know what you saw on film definitely is something that he can do consistently, because at this point, it's all about consistency. Yeah, guys have flashes of great plays or big plays or great throws, but can you do that over the course of 60 minutes, over the course of a 12 or nowadays 19-game college football season? So, and we've seen Cam Ward do that, so getting out there today just exemplified that.
I'm glad that we got a glimpse of him not only throwing the football, but also being the guy in the room. There is an obvious light that shines from Cam Ward when he's talking about this sport, when he's talking about these opportunities in front of him. Maybe a takeaway there as well. Did the performance on field or off maybe offer that final bean on the Ward side of the scale, or does it not really affect draft stock all that much?
It doesn't really affect draft stock. More so, it helps out the guys that he was out there throwing to. I think that's the biggest reason why he want quarterbacks to throw at their pro day, because it helps out those receivers, show that they have the timing down with their route running. They show they can really catch the football with their hands out extended over the course, over the shoulder or down the field, doing those things. You want to see that at a consistent level, and it's hard to get that consistency at the combine or at any other pro day outside of your own with your own quarterback. So it was good to see Cam Ward go out there and get his guys involved and let those guys showcase their talent, especially Xavier Restrepo, who didn't run the fastest 40 time, but we know he can ball. And that's why this type of pro day is important, especially when you have a high showcase type quarterback. It lets those receivers and tight ends and backs go out there and showcase their stuff.
Interesting what we're looking at right here with the quarterbacks over the last 2 years. Ward situating behind Michael Penix Jr. as the 5th best prospect. But again, Ryan Wilson puts all the hours into this, and that's just prospect, not product, as we saw from Jaden Daniels, who won the Rookie of the Year a season ago on the offensive side in the season he put together. So situation is going to dictate success in many of these scenarios. So let's call it, where does Ward end up in your eyes?
either at Tennessee or Cleveland, and I don't think he'll fall past 2. Neither should Shedeur Sanders, who I looked at their list, probably should be higher than behind a guy that threw 9 passes a game in a run-dominant offense. But I'll dive into that later. But I do feel like when you look at the top 3 teams, 3 of them need quarterbacks. There are 2 really good first-round prospects in this class in Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. And if Cleveland bypasses, then the Giants reap the benefit because Cam Ward, for all intents and purposes, from what we're hearing, what kind of has been the push toward, he's going number 1 overall to Tennessee, which is fascinating because when you look at his stylistic play, it's very similar. I brought this up in 2022 before he transferred to Washington State. So he kind of plays like Steve McNair. And so when you think about the Titans and having Eric McNair out there in Tennessee and him possibly going to Tennessee, it's a perfect fit because I know with that team, they have some pieces in place, and we know if you have a quarterback that raises the floor, and I think that could help Tennessee get into that Washington conversation like we saw what Jaden Daniels did last year with the Commanders.
As situations go, if it's 1 or it's 2, you always want to be 1-1 and maybe a better scenario there as well. Emory Hunt, going to break it all down over the next month. We appreciate you as always. All right, here's a look at your upcoming pro day schedule. Texas, all that speed on the outside, and the QB there as well. Going on Tuesday, then on Wednesday, a couple notables, including Ashton Genty's pro day at Boise State. Thursday, Florida, Notre Dame, and Texas A&M. Rounding out the action Friday, we'll see if Penn State's star edge shows up and shows out. Straight ahead on CBS Sports HQ, how sweet it is. We get you set for the Sweet 16 round because ball never sleeps. We got more coming next.